Classes start this week for some local school districts in Riverside. Details on when students in LA start the new semester. The California DMV is accusing Tesla of false advertising, how it could result in the car company losing its license to sell vehicles in the state.
The Rundown, brought to you by Goal Zero.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Rundown. I'm Robin Winston. The woman accused of causing the horrific and deadly crash in Windsor Hills is now out of the hospital and in police custody. The crash happened on Thursday at the intersection of La Brea and Slauson. Nicole Linton is accused of speeding through the intersection, causing the crash that killed 6 people. Linton survived and was arrested on suspicion of vehicular manslaughter. Firefighters in Anaheim say the driver of this Tesla is a lucky man. A group of bystanders helped him get out of his car after he crashed into a light pole. According to one of the Good Samaritans, the car suddenly swerved at the intersection of Lincoln and Kingsley, hit the pole, and then caught fire. They broke the window and helped the driver escape the wreckage. The driver was taken to a trauma center, and officials are still investigating what caused him to crash. Police are hoping security video will lead them to a hit-and-run driver who killed a South LA grandmother. That fatal hit-and-run happened over the weekend on Saturday. The video, taken from a home surveillance camera, shows what looks like a white tow truck speeding by just moments after it hit and killed the 68-year-old in the Vermont Square neighborhood. Police say she was crushed in the door of her car. A woman who lives nearby says she and her kids were the first ones at the scene.
She was just asking for help, and we tried to help her, but I couldn't move her because I knew that it's not good to touch or try to help or lift somebody because it can have internal issues.
The tow truck is difficult to identify from the surveillance video, so police are urging witnesses to come forward. A group of people tore down some of the fences around Echo Park and left a mess. You may remember this park closed for a couple of months last year so that crews could clean it up. There was a huge homeless encampment there. The cleanup cost about $500,000. It's now been open for more than a year, but the fencing has been up until it was knocked down. Park rangers are expected to go out and repair the fences. A controversial homeless encampment ordinance passed by the LA City Council will be up for vote again this week. The ordinance will ban encampments within 500 feet of schools and daycares. It passed 11-3 last week, but not before the chambers had to be cleared out because of an angry crowd. Opponents say the measure isn't a solution in helping the actual problem of homelessness.
We don't want to move people block by block. We want to get people off the streets into permanent housing.
I don't know what the solution is. There's no easy solution, but it's housing first.
Many LAUSD teachers, principals, and parents have expressed concerns about homeless encampments near campuses. Because of a technicality, the council will have to vote on the matter again on Tuesday. Well, hot and humid weather returns to Southern California for the next few days. Let's check in with meteorologist David Bigger, who has your first alert forecast.
Heading through the next couple of days, we'll continue to see a very similar forecast. That is kind of a warm afternoon, monsoonal moisture sticking around, and that means a chance of thunderstorms. So for Monday afternoon, this is a great example of what we're looking at. San Jacinto Mountains, San Bernardino Mountains, likely looking at some thunderstorm activity. We'll also see some activity across high desert, mainly for the San Bernardino portions of the high desert, not necessarily across the LA County or the Kern County portions of the high desert. Now, as we get into the late afternoon hours for Monday, this is 6 p.m. You can still see we have a couple of showers over the area mountains, but the activity should shut down during the overnight, and we have some high clouds passing by. Then we do the exact same thing for Tuesday. Tuesday starts off with some high clouds overhead, and by the afternoon, we're developing more thunderstorms across some of our mountain spots. That's a look at your forecast.
I'm a power blackout, and I'm going to put you in the dark. What is that?
It's the Yeti 3000X solar generator, a home backup system from Goal Zero. Take that, blackout.
Summer vacation is over for a lot of kids. Thousands of students in Riverside and Santa Clarita are going back to school this week. This includes the Riverside Unified School District and the Saugus Unified School District. Masks are not required, but both school districts say masks are highly recommended. Students in the LA Unified School District have another week of summer vacation. They return to school next Monday. Los Angeles bank executive has been identified as one of 3 people killed in a lightning strike right across the street from the White House. Well, the strike in Lafayette Park killed 29-year-old Brooks Lambertson and 2 others last Thursday. A statement issued by his family and employer, City National Bank, says Brooks will be remembered for his generosity, kindness, and unwavering positivity. He was in Washington, D.C. for business. Brooks lived in downtown L.A. and previously worked for the L.A. Clippers. A couple from Wisconsin was also killed in the strike. A Newbury Park woman was hit by lightning, but she survived. The California DMV is accusing Tesla of false advertising. It could result in the car company losing its license to sell vehicles in the state. So according to a legal filing, the DMV says Tesla's autopilot and full service driving marketing suggests its electric cars are capable of operating autonomously when in fact they cannot. Well, Tesla has 15 days to respond to the accusations in court. A spokesperson for the DMV tells NBC News that if it prevails, the DMV will ask a car company to better educate Tesla drivers about the autopilot and full self-driving capabilities. Helping wild animals that live in the city, many times they get passed over when people see them hurt. But there's one local shelter in Pasadena that specializes in sheltering animals like squirrels and opossums. NBC4's Lolita Lopez has a look.
Walking the halls of the Pasadena Humane Society, we find so many cute and cuddly animals that need a home. Then there are those that really have no place on your couch or bedroom. They have been displaced or injured and need some TLC before getting back to their homes in the wild.
If someone takes a picture of a fledgling, we can help identify what kind of animal it is, if it's injured, if it's healthy, and then give them the appropriate advice.
Taking care of the wild, that is the focus of Lauren Hamlet and the folks inside the wildlife program at the Pasadena Humane Society.
We understand that humans have had a great impact on our environment, and so part of what we do here is to try and mitigate that by rehabbing animals that we can rehab and putting them back out into the wilds.
When we talk about the wild, I think like, "Rawr," you know,
right.
But it doesn't always have to be that way.
Yeah. I mean, there is some of that roar, you know, in the hills and stuff. You know, we were talking about coyotes earlier and bears and bobcats and mountain lions. But most of the time what we see is possums and squirrels.
A member of the public had found them outside in their yard, and they had a lot of cuts and lacerations. So we suspect somebody's pet attacked these.
We were there when veterinarian Maria Purdak and assistant Eduardo gave these young mourning doves a checkup.
He may potentially have a ruptured air sac. So now he's been separated from his parents for a little while. It's going to be really hard to reunite him back. So he's actually going to stay with us until he's able to fly and we're confident he's able to find food.
Much of the work here is also about educating us, the public, who often find animals in our yards and don't know what to do. Well, there's now a hotline for that.
So people will also often use our helpline to help identify animals. We get a lot of pictures of what is this poop?
Yeah.
You know, what animal is in my backyard? A lot of us can look at that kind of stuff and just be like, oh yeah, that's raccoon or that's possum.
Special skills indeed. She says many times they advise to leave the animal be to cause less harm. If intervention is needed, someone is sent out to pick up the animal and bring it here, with one driving idea that we all live together.
How we can have less of an impact or a better impact, you know, rather than like a negative impact, to how we can have a positive impact on the wildlife in our environment.
I love that, and we should all just live by your shirt. This is, I love wild neighbors.
I love my wild neighbors.
Lolita Lopez, NBC4 News.
All right, doing 25 pull-ups in 1 minute is hard enough, right? But now imagine doing them while hanging from a hovering helicopter. That sounds wild, right? Well, that's what a pair of fitness enthusiasts actually accomplished on their way to breaking a world record. Take a look. So the feat was done by a pair of Dutch YouTubers at an airfield in Belgium. An official from the Guinness Book of World Records was there to witness it all. The 25 pull-ups in 1 minute breaks the 23 pull-up record set by a man from Armenia. Well, the YouTubers practiced by doing pull-ups from a bar that was hanging from ropes to, you know, simulate the movement of a chopper. Very impressive, guys, but on a good day, I can maybe give you 2 pull-ups or, okay, 1.5. That's it. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and on our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4 weekdays from 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with the traffic reports throughout your morning commute. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.